hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Perfect. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's overview of coverage options for artisan contractors. My name is Crystal Fleischman, Marketing Manager for New England Excess Exchange. Before we get started, I want to thank USLI for presenting today's webinar. I would also like to take a moment to introduce our organization. New England Excess Exchange is a managing general agency. We write in 11 states, including all of New England, New York, New Jersey, Maryland, Pennsylvania, and Ohio. USLI is one of our several in-house binding markets. We also provide coverage through brokerage markets. Today we'll be highlighting the great options for placing artisan contractor coverage with USLI. If you do not see the coverage you're seeking in this webinar, our agency may be able to place your business with another market if there's a better fit for your client's needs. Please don't hesitate to reach out to New England Excess Exchange directly for a quote. Now I'm going to turn the time over to Rebecca Straley, and she's going to present our webinar today. Rebecca?
Perfect. Thank you so much, Crystal. Good morning, everyone. As Crystal mentioned, we're going to discuss our Artisan Contractors Builder's Risk products and our instant quote options available through USLI with New England Excess and Exchange. Throughout the presentation, if you do have any questions, please just use the question and answer tab on the screen, and we will answer all questions via email after the webinar. And we will go ahead and get started. Okay, so our agenda today, we're going to spend about 20 to 30 minutes discussing the Artisan Contractors Builder's Risk product, really talking about the opportunity within these products, the focus of the product, class distribution, some advantages of writing this product with New England Excess Exchange and USLI, marketing support available. Instant quote options, will actually get into a demo to show you how easy that quoting over the phone is through New England Excess Exchange with USLI, and much more. So we're going to start just by talking a little bit about what is an artisan contractor. Artisan contractors may be engaged in new construction or remodeling work. Typically, they're going to handle maybe one part of a job, but they may be doing several different parts of a job as well. Usually, we see one-man operations, but they can be a part of a larger project as well. So again, they tend to specialize in one trade. We see a lot of contractors that are mainly working, providing services for painting, drywall, plumbing, maybe they're doing interior trim work, and we can consider all of those, as well as those contractors that might be doing several different services for their clients. The majority of the work will be conducted by the owner and or their direct employees, with the ability to consider some subcontracted work to others as well. For our Artisan Contractors product, we allow those with up to $100,000 in costs, which this is different from other markets as well. Typically, so with USLI, we can go up to 50% subcontracted work as long as it's within that $100,000 subcontracted costs. Other markets are going to limit it to 25 to 35% subcontracted work, so we do have the ability to go much higher and beyond that compared to some other markets. We really want to work hard to clearly define what fits within our product. So we're definitely okay with considering commercial and residential construction. So if you have that contractor that might be a little bit harder to place because he's doing only commercial construction, or vice versa, he's only building homes, or maybe he's remodeling a home, we're okay with either of those scenarios. We have the ability to consider up to $250,000 in annual payroll. So again, much smaller operations than your general contractors or some of your larger specialty contractors that have larger companies, and with up to $500,000 in annual sales. Some of the selling features that are going to really stand out with our product at USLI that you can get through New England Excess Exchange is going to be the fact that we have the ability to consider new ventures. we see a ton of contractors that had previously worked for a general contractor, or maybe they were working for another company as one of their direct employees, and after years of experience, they've just decided to go out on their own, but they've never had coverage before. We're okay with those new venture operations. We're also okay with artisan contractors that have had no prior coverage or even a lapse in coverage in the past. We write in all states as well, with the exception of Alaska, Colorado, Louisiana, and West Virginia. So just keep that in mind as you are writing in many of the states that Crystal mentioned in her introduction. So from an eligibility standpoint, what we're really geared for, again, up to 50% subcontracted costs or $100,000 in subcontracted costs is going to be the max we can consider. We have the ability to consider some exterior work up to 4 stories, which is a nice selling feature as well. And new ventures, again, is going to be a big selling feature for us. And to help you understand what we're really good at, some of the most common ineligible characteristics that will make it not fit with USLI is going to be those contractors that are performing construction on new residential apartments, condominiums, townhomes with over 5 units. We've seen in the past, if they're involved in the new construction of these apartments, townhomes, condominiums, if they have worked on one unit and there's an issue with that unit and they're working on multiple units, there's typically going to be an issue with all the units that they have worked on, and that can lead to some issues along the way. So we do stay away from that, and that would be the same would go for those that are involved in construction of tract homes. So any 1 to 4 family dwelling with more than 5 structures at a single location, that would be ineligible for us as well. Now, that's only for new construction projects, and if they do have more than 5 structures or 5 units at a single location. If it's a remodeling or a renovation project, or if it's a custom home that they're working on but they're not doing multiple units at a single location, we can still consider that new construction project or that renovation project of an older home. For your marketing efforts, we want you to really compete where we are best at writing these accounts. So again, it's going to be the smaller contracting services, typically 1 to 5 man operations, again, focusing on those with new ventures or that have had a lapse in coverage or no coverage in the past. And we're a great focus for those clients that are really just looking for a low-cost option, or even those that need last-minute coverage to perform a job. We get a ton of calls Friday afternoon. They're going to start a job on Saturday or maybe Monday morning, and they don't have any other markets that can turn around something so quickly. And you're going to see with working with New England Excess Exchange and USLI through our phone quoting option and our online quoting option, you will be able to get that turnaround that you need for those clients that have that last-minute opportunity for you to write with them. Okay. We do have over 40 classes or trades that we can consider within our Artisan Contractor product. Some of the top ones that we see most often: carpentry, that can be the interior carpentry, it can be the residential construction, so framing operations. We see a ton of HVAC contractors, plumbing, both residential and commercial, masonry work, landscape gardening, floor installation, just to name a few out of the 40 classes that we can consider. So we do tend to stay focused on the lower hazard contractors. So while we do write landscape gardening, we will stay away from the tree trimming operations. And New England Excess and Exchange may have another market that can consider those types of operations. So definitely reach out to Crystal if anything like that comes up. And we do write carpenters, for instance, but roofers would be something that we would stay away from. So when we do get to the phone quoting part, or if you go online, you will have to select the classification that you're looking to quote. So if it doesn't fit, we'll let you know along the way, so you're not really spinning your wheels as you're trying to get a quote for these contractors. We have a great admitted product offering for artisan contractors. It is admitted in 38 states. And I know you do write all over, but in the New England region, we're admitted in Connecticut, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, and Maine. And I know I heard Ohio mentioned, Maryland as well, Pennsylvania. So there's a lot of great opportunity to write an admitted product with USLI and New England Excess Exchange for artisan contractors. We offer coverages that are typically sought after by many smaller contracting risks. So what we're able to provide them is what they really need to get on the job site and start working. From a general liability standpoint, we offer up to $1 million each occurrence, $3 million general aggregate limits. There's no liability deductible ever, which is a great selling feature. A lot of other carriers might have a property damage deductible. We don't have that, so when we say no liability deductible, we mean no liability deductible, so that can save them some money in the long run. We do offer a blanket additional insured for operations with operations wording, and if they do need completed operations wording, we can include that as well. A lot of contractors are looking for primary non-contributory wording and waivers of subrogation. Again, these are all coverages that we are able to provide at USLI under our contractor's product, and we can even consider full contractual liability for eligible risks. So everything that they typically would need for our smaller contracting risks, we do have the ability to provide them on our product. From a property standpoint, we are able to consider up to $3 million in total property per location. So for these contractors that might have an office or a warehouse location where they're storing their equipment, we can consider up to $3 million, with the exception along the coast where we do have a $1 million max TIV. It's also important to mention that while our general liability limits are capped at $1 million and $3 million for the primary, we always offer you the excess limits up to $5 million. So if you do need those excess limits, maybe they have a job with that requires higher limits, you're automatically, once you get the quote over the phone or online, you're automatically going to see attached to that primary quote is going to be an additional excess quote with up to $5 million in additional limits. It's also nice to mention that if you have a quote that you're very comfortable with from a GL standpoint for the primary, but you just need the excess option, we do write standalone excess general liability for contractors, as long as it's over a carrier that's B++ rated or better, and as long as it's over a classification that we would otherwise write. So that's something just to let you know we can do as well. We have the ability to write monoline contractors equipment coverage, or we can package that with the general liability as well, providing them a nice package for the small contractors that we typically see. For these quotes, this would be theft would be included. We have the ability to consider up to $1 million total insured value on our inland marine product, with up to $150,000 for any one item. Typically with types of contractors that we are seeing, even with those 40 classes that we went over previously, with their smaller operations, they don't have the $300,000 valued items on their schedule of equipment. They have much smaller pieces of equipment, but we do have the capacity to go up to $150,000 for any one item. If they just need coverage for their miscellaneous tools and equipment, they don't have anything that's valued over $1,000 maybe, we can definitely consider a blanket for miscellaneous tools and equipment with up to $15,000 in limits. And then also, if they are renting or borrowing equipment, we do have a $50,000 sublimit per item for all of that equipment as well, which is a nice selling feature. Okay. Moving from the Artisan Contractor's product to our builder's risk insurance, we're really providing specialized coverage for construction projects. This can be residential as well as commercial projects. Why quote builder's risk? What's the opportunity here? Well, when you look at the total construction activity being up I believe it was up 8.9% last year, with total spending at close to $945 billion. They are expecting residential construction this year to exceed 600,000 for single-family homes. So if you look at the number of homes that they're looking to exceed versus our minimum premiums of around $500 for a builder's risk product, you're looking at $300 million in total premium, which then gives you over $30 million in commission income. So it's just a great opportunity to really build revenue together. And it's a nice cross-sell too, because with Artisan Contractors, you can definitely talk to them about whether they're needing insurance for a new construction project, or whether they know someone for maybe who they're working for that has maybe asked them about different coverages that they might need. It's always good to talk about the cross-sell and how you can help them. On our builder's risk product, we do have a broad appetite as well, able to consider, again, those residential as well as commercial construction projects. We can even consider modular home projects, which is a little different from other markets. We have the ability to consider all construction types, so even those frame constructions, we're okay with those, and we can still consider the ground-up construction for that as well. And we can consider all protection classes as well. A lot of the times when you get those projects that are located in, protection classes 9 or 10, it's a little bit harder to find coverage for that construction project, and we are able to consider all protection classes 1 through 10 with no geographical limitations. For our builder's risk product, it is written on an all risk in the marine coverage form, so theft is included. We can provide coverage for the building owner or the general contractor as a named insurer, so sometimes we get those requests that the general contractor needs to be on the policy for that new ground-up construction project. We're able to consider that, as well as the building owner who might want their own coverage as well. And then we can also consider multiple scheduled construction sites on one policy. We don't have to do separate policies for each time they're going to build a new home. We can actually put them on one policy, which is really nice. From a coverage standpoint, again, I mentioned we can consider all protection classes. The only thing with the higher protection classes is we will limit the max total insured value that we can offer. $1 million is going to be the max TIV we can include for those higher protection classes. And again, along the coast, the max we can consider there is going to be $1 million as well. For protection classes 1 through 8, just like our other property for Artisan Contractors, we can consider up to $3 million total construction costs, with the exception of frame, which would be limited to $2 million TIV. So for a nice custom home, typically it's going to fall within our appetite and what we can do under our builder's risk product. One other thing I wanted to mention on this last page, we are providing coverage for property that's including materials and supplies of others, and we do automatically include an occupancy provision for coverage for 90 days after completion. So they don't have to rush off, I need to get this rewritten right away, it's completed. We do have a 90-day occupancy provision for 90 days after completion. And then with our Builder's Risk Value Plus, which is going to be included, we do include property in transit, property off premises, and various soft costs as well. So just some nice throw-ins that are available with the Builder's Risk product. Okay. And again, in the New England states, we are admitted in Connecticut, Maine, Massachusetts, and New Hampshire. Pennsylvania is also admitted, Maryland, New Jersey. We are admitted in 25 states for this product as well. Okay. We want to be a quick, low-cost alternative for you for builder's risks. Minimum premiums can be as low as $575 for an annual policy, but we don't want you to feel like you have to sell that annual term. If you know that your client only needs a 6-month policy because they've been assured that the construction will only take 6 months from start to finish, we can offer short-term policies. So we offer them in increments of 3 months. So we can do a 3, 6, 9-month policy or the annual policy. The nice selling feature is if they do that 6-month policy, and then of course with construction delays, you never knowing what's going to happen. Maybe there's bad weather and it takes much longer to complete. We do have the ability to extend by endorsement to address those delays as well. It's also nice to mention that in many of the states, there's not going to be a minimum earned premium, even for those short-term policies. So whereas you might see a 50% or fully earned premium on those 3 or 6-month or 9-month policy terms, you're not going to see that. So that's very comforting to know that they're not going to be hit with that fully earned or 50% earned at binding for these as well. Okay. I wanted to move real quick from our Artisan Contractor and Builder's Risk product to our Business Resource Center services that are offered for all USLI products. With USLI, for any policyholder, we do offer free and substantially discounted services through our Business Resource Center. Services such as our Human Resources Hotline, which is going to provide free and unlimited calls for any policyholders. We know with small businesses, there aren't going to be human resources departments. Typically, they don't know who to call if they have an issue with an employee and they don't know what the process might be for maybe terminating an employee, or if someone's going out on medical leave, they're just not sure of any of the processes they need to follow. They can actually call the Human Resources Hotline available for a USLI policyholder and talk to them as often as they want for as long as they want. It's a free service for USLI policyholders, which you have access with through New England Excess Exchange. We also offer pre-employment and tenant screening. So while this may not apply to contractors as much, where they might not be doing these types of screenings, through New England Excess Exchange, for those other types of accounts that you might be writing with them, once they're bound with USLI, they do have access to these as well. One thing that's really nice to mention here is we do offer background checking services. So if you are writing any accounts that deal with children, whether it's a nonprofit, a child care, a sports league, we do offer the first background check for free for the policyholder, and then all other background checks are $10, which is a huge savings to that insured. We also offer identity theft protection, marketing resources, business administration, alcohol safety training for restaurants or caterers or bartenders. We do provide training for that as well, and much more. And I did want to pull real quick. I'm going to share something real quick with you. Okay. So if you log on to bizresourcecenter.com, your policyholder, if they are a policyholder with USLI, will have access to all of these services. So again, we talked about the Human Resources Center, which provides consultation, a library of different materials they may use, helpful tips on hiring and terminating, and the phone number right there would be available for all USLI policy number holders, available from 8 to 7:30 p.m. to answer any of your questions, which is really nice. Again, we talked shortly about the background checking services. All of this information is listed on our bizresourcecenter.com website. So once they do have a USLI policy number, they are able to access this, and it will provide them with some great useful tools that can definitely help you sell the account, because it helps you compete on more than just price. Okay, so I'm going to go back to here. So if you have any other questions on that, you can definitely let Crystal know, and we can work with her to provide you with some additional information on the services provided through our Business Resource Center. Okay, so we do have the ability to quote over the phone and online. We just want to be easy to do business with. We want to provide you with options. We know your day changes daily. You might be in the office, you might not be in the office, you might be on the road visiting clients. So we give you options to make it easier for you. Our instant phone quoting number, 888-875-4439, that allows you to call into our phone quoting team at USLI. They will know you're calling through New England Excess Exchange, which is great, so you won't even have to tell them that. And they'll be able to quote a variety of products over the phone for you, including the builder's risk and the Artisan Contractors, which we already discussed. You are also able to quote 24 hours a day online at www.neeemaple.com. So New England Excess Exchange's website, they do have quoting opportunities for you as well. Or if you have something you'd rather submit, you can always contact their commercial lines team email at cl@neee.com. So lots of opportunity, lots of different choices for you when it comes to how you want to do business. We know some people only want to send an email, some people only want to talk to someone on the phone, and some people would rather just do it themselves and quote online. We're providing you with all of those options available here. Okay, so what is a phone quote? A phone quote is going to be the quickest way to get a quote. That number that we provided in the last slide, 888-875-4439, it's going to connect you to one of our 50 underwriters that are ready to assist you. These are full-blown underwriters. They are able to answer any of your coverage questions. They're able to answer, to provide you with a quick quote so that way you have the price and you can make that decision whether you want to go out and sell that or whether you're looking for a different quote beyond that. So they're just going to ask some basic rating information, get you that premium, and then you can go on your way. Typically, you're going to see with our phone quoting team, it's going to be about a 5-minute phone quote or less based on the operations that you're calling in for a quote on. The nice thing is, as you're talking to this underwriter over the phone, they're asking you questions, they're generating a pre-filled application along the way. So once they send you that quote, which will be sent after the premium is addressed, there's going to be a pre-filled application attached as well. So really all you have to do is have your applicant verify the information, sign it, and then you can send it into New England Excess Exchange, and they'll be able to provide you with a binder once that's all been completed. Okay. So what does this mean for you? It's going to save you a ton of time. We're not requiring any Accord applications. As I said, the pre-filled application is sent directly to you with the quote. But if your risk can't be quoted over the phone, we're going to make sure we get you to a live person at New England Excess Exchange to go ahead and provide you, to help you with that as well. From a flexibility standpoint, again, it allows you to quote from the road, or, you know, if you get that on your speed dial on your cell phone, that phone number, you're able to just call wherever you are. Maybe you're meeting with your client, maybe you've just met with them and you told them you'd get them a quote tomorrow. Well, you can do it one better and get them to them within the next 15 minutes, which will really be a great shock for them and a nice surprise. It also provides great accessibility to you. You're able to get an experienced underwriter 5 days a week from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. and even Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. So as those accounts come up, as you're meeting with clients, you know, there's a lot of chance for you to contact New England Excess Exchange with USLI and get that quote over the phone. Again, if you go on to New England Excess Exchange's website, you have the availability to quote 24 hours a day. Okay. So right here we have a list of all of the classes of products that we can quote over the phone for you at New England Excess Exchange through that phone quote number, that 888-875-4439. Everything from habitational, whether it's rental dwellings, apartments, to the contractors that we talked about in the builder's risk for the new ground-up construction, to special events, restaurants, truckers, vacant buildings and land, and that's just from the commercial side. We have professional and nonprofit products available to be quoted over the phone, as well as personal lines products. So definitely take a look at this list. Let us know if anything comes up. We would just encourage you to call in through that phone number with New England Excess Exchange and we'll let you know if we can do it. If we can't, we'll get you over to New England Excess Exchange, and they'll be able to help you out. But for the most part, you're going to see you're going to get a very quick phone quote within 5 minutes or less. Okay. So what I'd like to do right now, I'm going to put you on hold for just 1 second. I'm going to call into our phone quote team, and they're going to provide us with a quick demonstration on how this all works. So just bear with me for 1 moment, and I will get someone over to do this for us real quick. So hold on 1 second. Okay, everyone, I have Shane on the phone. He's going to go through a phone quote with us right now.
All right, and Rebecca, I understand we're doing an artisan contractor today?
Correct. We're going to do a contractor, yes. An interior painter, please.
Interior painting, sure thing. And what state is the risk located in?
This is going to be in Vermont.
Vermont, okay. Any losses or claims in the last 3 years?
No losses. It's a new venture.
Okay. And projected gross annual revenue?
Well, they're just starting out, so they're thinking maybe $50,000.
Okay. And the name of your applicant?
It's going to be Painting for You, LLC.
Okay. All right. And location address for the business?
Sure. It's 123 Main Street, and that's in Burlington, Vermont.
Okay. And do you happen to have a zip code handy?
I do. It's 05401.
All right. And what liability limit would you like?
They're looking for $1 million, $2 million limits.
Okay. Any employees or casual laborers?
No, it's just the owner who's providing the service.
Understood. Okay. Would you need any additional insureds, or would you want to do a blanket additional insured?
You know, not at this time. If they do decide that they need that, can I call back in later to have it added to the quote?
Absolutely. Yeah,
okay, perfect.
Yep. And will they be subcontracting any work out to others?
Nope, it's just him.
Okay. Did you want to add any inland marine coverage for tools or equipment?
I don't think he really has much right now with it just being painting, so just GL would be great.
Okay, perfect. Give me just 1 moment here, just generating the quote, and we should be good to go. All right, so I do have a quote here for you. It is on non-admitted paper. It's with Mount Vernon Fire Insurance Company. The AM Best rating is A++. We do have this rated again just for interior painting, just based off the state minimum payroll. We have a liability limit of $1 million, $2 million. Total annual premium on this is $754.50, including taxes and fees. Our quote will also come with an unsolicited excess quote, so you'll see additional limits, 1 through 5 million, if they do need higher limits.
Okay, perfect. Thanks so much.
Absolutely. And what I can do is go ahead and email the quote over to you with the pre-filled application, a couple of additional eligibility questions on there to complete prior to binding. Did you want to go over those now, or just have me send over to have you review with the applicant?
You know what? I'll just review them later.
Sounds good. Okay, that's on its way. Is there anything else I can help with at the moment?
No, that's it, Shane.
All right, thanks a lot for calling.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, so that was just a brief demonstration of how quick and easy it is to get a phone quote over the phone with New England Excess Exchange and USLI. Again, we just did an interior painter in Vermont, but it could have been another artisan contractor, it could have been a habitational unit, it could have been anything. So definitely write that number down, 888-875-4439, and call as often as you can, because it's going to be a great solution for you to get you a quick quote on your contractors and other commercial lines business. Okay. Does anyone have any questions? I'm going to bring this back over to Crystal. She would like to round everything out for today's presentation.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Rebecca, and thank you to our attendees for joining us today. If you do have any questions about today's webinar or New England Excess Exchange, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. You can email us at cl@ne.com if you want to submit a quote for something that is not possible through USLI's phone quote. You can also call us at 1-800-548-4301. You can learn more about us also on our website at neee.com. And again, we just want to remind you to take advantage of that phone quote phone number and quote your business through New England Excess Exchange. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day.